as my sister died. And he just said, I'm sorry, but yeah. They just passed me an envelope, said, this is your money back and this is your sister's money back.
Wow.
And this is your flight. Sorry she's dead. Here's a plane ticket. There were nothing.
Leanne was refused access to Kaydell's body.
Hey, Kharisma here. Welcome back to Kharisma Daily. A British mom has died during a Brazilian butt lift surgery. Kaydell Brown had just celebrated her 38th birthday. After a tough few years, she had started rebuilding her life and hoped cosmetic surgery would help. Instead, it killed her. The mother of two from Sheffield made initial inquiries about procedures to a clinic expert in Istanbul, who swiftly suggested a mummy mott, multiple procedures including a tummy tuck, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift. Over several weeks, Kaydell was bombarded with emails, phone calls, and WhatsApp messages illustrating before and after images that Kaydell could achieve. They offered a cut price surgery, flights, and hotel, along with further discounts if she signed up for multiple surgeries. Kaydell worked hard to find the £5,400 needed and traveled to Istanbul with her sister Leanne. She went into the theater on the morning of March 26, 2024, but never came out. This type of surgery is touted as the most dangerous aesthetic procedure ever performed. In surgical surgeries circles, the Brazilian butt lift, called famously known as BBL, is known as the deadliest aesthetic procedure. And despite several calls into improved outcomes, recent data suggests mortality is only getting worse. The Brazilian butt lift became popular over the past 2 decades, with procedures surging more than 800% over the last decade alone, 7,382 in 2011 to over 61,387 in 2021, according to data from the American Society for Aesthetic Plastic Surgery. During a BBL, a surgeon uses liposuction to remove fat from the abdomen, flanks, or back of an anesthetized patient. The surgeon then uses a syringe attached to a cannula to re-inject or graft the reserved fat into the buttocks. The cannula is inserted repeatedly deep under the skin, fanning out from a few small incision points to distribute the fat across different areas. It's known as a blind procedure, and surgeons can inadvertently injure the large vessels in the muscle or even inject fat directly into those muscles if the cannula goes too deep. The fat can travel via the bloodstream to the heart and lungs, and deaths from such a pulmonary, I know I didn't say that correctly, fat embolism can occur within hours of the procedure or even on the operating table. And this is exactly what happened to Kaydell. Let's take a listen.
Happy birthday to you.
This was Kaydell Brown's final birthday. She died 4 days after this celebration. A hard-working single mum of two who'd hoped cosmetic surgery would boost her self-confidence. And so with her sister Leanne, she travelled to Turkey for a so-called mummy MOT, but never came home.
For her, we're going to get her life back. So she just wanted to get there and have it done and get her old self back. That's all it was for her.
What? Get her life back? What do you mean get her old self back? Because you get a butt lift, you put some weight on, you get a butt lift and tuck here and there, you get your life back. I find that these type of surgeries are so artificial that if a woman doesn't have a BBL or big breasts or whatever, it's like she can't live through her true self. I think it's very, very misleading. And it's just a shame that so many women go through and put themselves through these surgeries. And as you heard, it can end up in death, just like Kaydell, unfortunately.
The sisters were enticed by a cut price deal for flights, hotels, liposuction, a tummy tuck and a Brazilian butt lift. They chose a surgery called Clinic Expert, which bombarded them with looks they could achieve, repeatedly offering discounted extras. Leanne spoke to us alongside their other sister, Siobhan.
When you go in and you're paying, they're your best friends and they'll help you with anything, but once something goes wrong, it's
left to yourself.
Goodbye.
And for Kaydell, something did go catastrophically wrong just hours after she took this picture.
I'd asked a few times how long she was going to be, and they just kept saying she's coming, and then I got a knock on the door and 3 people walked in and just said, "Can you come with us, please?" They just started trying to say, there's complications of surgery, and I just said, "As my sister died," and he just said, "I'm sorry, but yeah." They just passed me an envelope, said, "This is your money back and this is your sister's money back."
Wow.
And they said, "You fly." Sorry, she's dead. Here's a plane ticket. There were nothing.
Leanne was refused access to Kaydell's body. When it was finally returned to the UK, more devastating news was to come. To their horror, a coroner here told them that large parts of Kaydell's organs, including her brain and heart, had been removed.
When they returned the body, they'd kept pieces of her
What?
heart and her intestines.
How hard was that to hear?
Baby, I don't think it was allowed, but they said it's legal. They can take what they want. I thought you'd have to ask at least permission from family before you took anything, but
They sent a death certificate straight away and just put there's not even a cause of death.
We wanted to investigate this further in Turkey, but authorities there refused our visas, providing no reason why. From their Istanbul surgery, Clinic Expert insists that no evidence of organ trauma was found, and Kaydell's body left them untouched. They say an internal review found no malpractice, and her death was likely caused by fat blocking a blood vessel, a risk in this type of surgery.
Wow. Even the government is complicit in this cover-up. I mean, permission is required to take from the person's body, and they didn't, and now they're covering up, and now the government is being complicit in this whole thing. This is really awful.
Günaydın. Ben operatör Doktor Sinem Singın.
ITV News can reveal Dr. Sinem Singhan is the surgeon who operated on Kaydell. She's now left Clinic Expert but is performing the same procedure elsewhere. She refused an interview on camera but told us Kaydell's death was due to a known complication of such surgery, not medical malpractice. Back at Clinic Expert, the relentless pursuit of British business continues. Using an ITV News undercover reporter, we held a consultation with a telesales agent at the clinic.
I'm just looking to get more information on the mummy makeover. As you can see, I'm just all a bit, I really want to go ahead with it. I've been thinking about it for a while, but you hear all these stories about things going wrong.
No, miss, we are performing tummy tuck procedure, every day at least 6 or 7 cases.
We have confirmed 2 deaths at the clinic since 2011. Figures not disclosed during our recording.
Wow.
What's the worst thing that can happen with this, and has anyone ever died?
I can truly say that I never ever faced of this kind of serious experience in my entire career.
During our investigation, Kaydell's sister informs us of an update.
Hello Rachel, we will be at Sheffield Coroner's Court tomorrow.
A fresh pathology report has allowed an inquest into Kaydell's death to be opened. We were with Leanne as she expressed her relief that the case was now in the UK courts.
Things can't be hidden anymore and they know what happened now, so it's just gathering that evidence.
And they want to use that evidence to warn the 150,000 Britons who travel to Turkey every year for cosmetic surgery. 28 have died at clinics across Turkey since 2019, and many hundreds more suffer complications. Plastic surgeon Dr. Harper Machin is seeing more and more patients needing corrective surgery in the UK following procedures overseas.
Bleeding and blood collections that would need to go back to the operating theatre to be stopped are obviously a very immediate complication that, yes, would be apparent in the very short term after the surgery. But things like serious infections, sepsis, wound breakdown, skin necrosis or death of the skin, for example in a tummy tuck where the skin is incredibly tight once it's been removed, those things are only apparent in the days, weeks, months after the surgery.
Complications that Kaydell's family wish they'd known more about, as they now live with the heartbreaking consequences.
Anyone that meets her will say, she just smiled, she laughed.
This was picking up the phone and talking to her.
What was she like as a sister?
Loving, lovely, caring.
Yeah.
Funny.
Sad.
This family has lost a mum, daughter, sister and a best friend, and none of them know exactly why. Rachel Townsend, ITV News.
Very sad situation. And, you know, even with these deaths and that this surgery is so risky, women will continue to take the risk just to get a BBL, just to, instead of going to the gym and working out and eating healthy, they will prefer to go under the knife and take the risk, knowing that they may not come out of it, but they're willing to do it. And that's a sad, sad situation that we're in, and the mentality that we have to look a certain way. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you've had any experience with BBLs or cosmetic surgery and it's gone awry, or if you know someone, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love for you to share it with us. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye.